Hello students, how are you? I hope you must be safe and sound at your homes and at the same time must be in touch with your studies as well. Here I am with the very first chapter, which is representation of graphical features. Students, you know very well that our earth is not even. It means that it is uneven. Why it is uneven? Because of various landforms or relief. These are mountains, hills, valleys, plateaus and lowlands. The total terrain is also called physical landscape. What's the known as physical landscape? Students, though there are methods about the study of relief features, we're studying about it later. So, very first, I'll be telling you about the representation of relief. We ought to know few facts regarding it. It is the representation of relief is one of the most important tasks of the map maker. Who are the map makers? Yes, cartographers. Yes, cartographers are the professionals who make maps, and the study of map that is called cartography. Now, you must be thinking, did map existed in earlier days? Yes, why not? Sure, they existed, but the maps up to the 17th century, they were not so precise. Next, the relief features on the Earth's surface have three dimensions. These dimensions are length, breadth, and height. But the maps on which they are shown has only two dimensions. These are length and breadth, but no height. This leads to a problem of showing third dimension on the map. Basically, what happens when we see the various relief features, various landforms, then only two dimensions exist there, that is length and breadth, but no height. Actually, how the view is taken, for example, if we have the aerial view, then we can have the two dimension, that is length and breadth. Okay, so let us start with the methods, and that is qualitative and quantitative method. So before studying these quantitative and qualitative methods, we ought to know a set of, you can say, imaginary lines. Imaginary line, that is no other than contours, because it is the contours only which we will be coming again and again. So very first one, it must be a prime thing to know what actually these contours are, because every now and then, you can say in a frequent way, we will be coming across with contours, and the various features, the landforms, the relief, they are depicted by means of contours itself. So contour, what are contours? A contour is an imaginary line drawn on map joining the points having the same elevation. Elevation means height. These are the imaginary lines that show the same height or elevation. They depict the same height or elevation, and since they depict the same height or having the same points of elevation, that's why they are also called isohypes. What they are called? Isohypes. Iso means same and hype means height. They are continuous curved lines join the places of the same height. Generally, what happens? The contour lines, they appear to be curved lines, and what happens? They show the place of same height. They are drawn as constant interval. We can say between two successive contours, there is a difference, that is the contour interval. What is that interval called? Contour interval. For example, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, etc. So if you consider the difference, 40 minus 20, 20, 60 minus 40, 20, 80 minus 60, 20, 100 minus 80, 20, what do we say that? Where do we find that this interval is constant? They are close together in areas of steep slope. but they are wide apart in areas of gentle slope. I told you students earlier that spacing is a very crucial aspect, or we can say rather it is the very crucial parameter to know the what landforms or relief features. For example, if you are having a glance that of mountain, hill, valley, plateau, or any landform, so it is the slope which matters. You could be asked, show me, tell me the which region or which side have the gentle slope and which side have the steep slopes. So how can we know that? By examining or viewing the contour lines. We'll have to see the contour lines very keenly, and we can easily say that which side is the gentle slope and which side the steep. How? By means of, you can see contour lines. The contour lines which will be appearing closer to one another, then such slope will be the steep slope, and in the case of gentle slope, the contour lines will appear farther apart. They will be a bit distant. The pattern of contour lines resembles the shape of the land. What we say, the pattern of contour lines resembles the shape of the land. Contours are shown in brown color on a map. In which color is it shown? Brown color. Now students, will be moving to the two methods which I said you earlier, that is qualitative method and quantitative method. So I am starting with the qualitative method, which is hatchery. What are hatchers? Hatchers are short lines representing direction of slope. What do generally hatchers depict? They depict the slope, the sloping. They are far apart and delicately drawn on gentle slopes and closer together and darker slopes. So again, how can we determine the slope? By means of, you see, our observance of what? The contour lines. And generally what happens, the slope, the sloping. The slope could be determined by means of what? Spacing. So it is very crucial parameter. If we'll see a side which is having, you can say, the spacing is much more as compared to the other side, so the spaced, you can say, region, that is the spacing where there will be more, that will be the gentle slope, and the slope where the, you can say, slope, the distance will be not too much, or you can say they will appear closer, then such a slope will be depicting the steep slope. So however, on flat ground they cannot be used at all. What cannot be used at all? These hatchers. It gives no indication of actual height. Dear, you have to remark it that the hatchers, they have a limitation, or you can say disadvantage, that it gives no indication of actual height. Another qualitative relief is, that is benchmark. Quantitative method, that is benchmark. They are permanent survey points shown by a stone or a building. Students, now we will be knowing that how benchmark could be what written. Actually, benchmark is written by capital letters B and M, and the capital letters, these B and M, are followed by numerals. Say for example BM 222 means what? That place is 220 meter high from the mean sea level. What is mean sea level? This is the parameter here. Generally what happens when we talk about a certain place, say Himalayas, say in the Himalayas, Mount Everest is the highest peak. It is 8,848 meter high. From where? From sea level. Similarly, if we say that the Dead Sea, it is 400 meter deep below sea level. So here sea level acts as the parameter. Okay. There is therefore hill shading, the next qualitative one. Hill shading shows the relief by light and shade. A light is imagined to be vertically over the area being mapped. Whichever area is being mapped, first of all, what is done? A light is imagined from where? Vertically over the area. Just as the Hatchur is having a limitation or disadvantage, similarly this feature, this you can say real feature also, you can say hill shading also has the disadvantage that it does not give an idea of actual height. Next is form lines. Students, I must tell you that form lines will come under the quantitative method. Form lines are contour lines. You can say form lines are contour lines and they are drawn as broken lines. They are drawn as broken lines. They are not as accurate as contours and are based on observation only. So if we compare the contours and that of form lines, which give us the more evidence or much idea, definitely form lines. Contours, they do reveal the, you can say, numerous things, but at the same time you can say form lines have to indicate minor details which can't be easily shown by contour lines. Though in the first glance we could know that if we compare contour and form lines, it is contour lines, they give us the much idea, but at the same time you can say form lines also has the advantage over the contours that they indicate minor details which can't be easily shown by contour lines. Next, quantitative, you can say one is spot heights. Spot heights are marked on the map by a dot and associated number. Example, say 219. If we write a dot and 129 means what? That is depicted the spot height. And for what, you can say which aspect is shown in the spot height, it also shows the height of certain area with respect to the parameter mean sea level. The spot heights are actual heights above mean sea level. Next aspect is triangulation station. The height of a place is fixed using trigonometry. How a height of a place is fixed? By means of trigonometry. It is shown by a small angle followed by the height. That is, it is denoted by delta or a small triangle and followed by numeral. Say delta 364. What is depict? Again, the height. So in a nutshell we can say that spot height, benchmark and trigonometric station, these three shows the same features, that is height of a place with respect to that of mean sea level. Okay, dear students, the chapter hasn't completed. It has been only half, but rest of the part I'll be teaching you very soon. So won't be taken aback. Okay, won't lose your hope. Very soon I'm going to give you the second video as well. In that I'll be teaching you about the various relief features, basically the topography, which will be starting in 10th standard. So in 8th standard you are having only a glimpse of that. You can say in chapter, you can say standard 10, you will be having 5 chapters regarding topography, but in 8 you will be beginning with topography, what actually it is, and we will be showing about various relief features, landforms by means of what? By means of contours. So won't forget contours, what they are. Okay, and I'll be back soon